Yo, what's up, guys? First things first, guys. We can all take a deep breath, a deep sign of relief. The Maple Leafs have knocked out the Ottawa Senators, defeating them 4-2 tonight and winning this series, guys, 4-2. Now, guys, what can we say? Obviously, guys, we can finally take a big breath, sign of relief, like I just said. Leafs were able to get it done tonight, defeating the Senators in a very good game. I felt, it wasn't obviously the Leafs' best performance tonight, guys. I think the Leafs could obviously turn it up another notch, but I thought they played pretty well tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs, especially in the first period. I thought defensively the Leafs were fantastic. They only let Ottawa get 3 shots on net, guys. I thought the Leafs started off the game really well, forechecking wise. They were moving their legs. Defense looked solid. Stoley was making some good saves. I thought the Leafs played a really solid first period, and that culminated obviously with a power play goal by Austin Matthews, guys. First Leaf goal in a couple games, of course. The Leafs were 0 for 7 their last few games, so the only power play of the game for the Leafs tonight. They bury it. Matthews with a great shot, keeping it on the ice there. Matthew Knies, great job by him to screen Olmark, who doesn't see the puck, and we saw Matthews squeak it in, guys, to make it 1-0 lead for the Maple Leafs, and that was perfect, guys. Everybody all agree the Leafs needed to take the lead in this game, because if Ottawa took the lead, it would have been really hectic. Would have been a lot more nerve-wracking for us fans if the Senators took the 1-0 lead, guys. But Leafs had a great first period, go up 1-0, and then in the second period, the Leafs started off well again. Max Pacioretty, who was possibly coming out of this game tonight, guys. Craig Berube said, no, I'm going to keep the same lineup. I got trust and confidence in my guys, and I'm sticking with the lineup that he had the last few games, and it ended up benefiting that decision. Pacioretty, great forechecking there to get the puck off Ottawa there, and then Nylander, guys, who it's his birthday today, of course, scores a great goal beating Olmark, guys. Clutch goal for William Nylander as well. Willie's been clutch, guys. I think he's got like 13 points in clinching games for the Maple Leafs, even though the record is 2 for 13, guys. Willie's been clutch, scoring big points, scoring big goals in key moments in series, guys. And Willie did it again tonight, guys, giving the Leafs a 2-goal cushion. But obviously, it's the playoffs, guys. Ottawa's obviously fighting for their lives. We all knew that Ottawa was going to battle, and they did. We saw Brady Tkachuk, who scored a great goal. Great tip. Stolars can't do anything about it. I would have liked to see someone there in front, but Brady found a way to get open, and it was a great tip by him to cut the deficit to 2-1. But I thought the Leafs, guys, were still doing a good job. Ottawa did push, obviously. They're going to make our lives difficult, of course, but I still felt the Leafs played solid defensively. They were playing their game. I liked some things that I saw from Scott Laughton. I thought he played really well tonight, guys, especially in that third period, what we saw him do at the end of the game with that block shot. I thought Laughton was really good. Obviously, Max Domi didn't have a phenomenal game, of course, guys, but we saw what he did with Pacioretty scoring the leading goal. That was obviously after Stolars gave up a pretty bad goal, guys. I think we could all agree that that second goal that Ottawa scored, Stoley can't give up that goal, and he admitted it. He got a little bit overzealous. The words he exactly said was he got a little too horny, obviously, trying with that poke check there. He says, you live and you learn. Listen, he made a mistake there, obviously, but those could be crucial mistakes. He's got to be careful not to make those mistakes, but I thought he was okay. He wasn't amazing tonight, guys, but I thought he got the job done with the performance that he had tonight, guys. But obviously, that goal can't go in. Ottawa tied it up. Great play by Domi. Pacioretty, guys, like I mentioned, of course, might have been even getting taken out of this lineup, and it's ironically enough that the former Montreal Canadiens captain from 8 years ago helps the Maple Leafs get their second playoff win in 21 years, guys. It's incredible to watch. Full circle moment sometimes you think is like, holy freaking hell, this guy was on the Habs, and now he's on the Leafs. It's really funny to see, but listen, guys, then we saw Nylander, get another goal off the empty net goal. Willie had 3 points tonight, guys. Spectacular performance for him. Matthews got a goal. Marner got an assist, who I didn't feel had a great game. John Tavares didn't really do much today, guys, as well. They didn't have their best game, some guys, but I thought Willie was the best player for the Maple Leafs. I thought the decor was solid tonight, guys, especially guys like Chris Tanev, and then I mentioned Scott Laughton, Benoit. The whole decor, guys, is the most confident I've been in a very long time in this Toronto Maple Leafs team. But like I said, guys, do I think the Leafs are going to play better? Absolutely. But listen, let's give them credit where credit is due, okay? Look, they showed a lot of maturity in tonight's game, getting the win. Of course, obviously, us Leaf fans were very concerned after that horrendous performance the other night, in Game 5. That was just an abysmal performance. Got everyone nervous, of course, including myself, obviously. But listen, you got to give Craig Berube a shit ton of credit here, okay? The guy's won a Stanley Cup. He knows what this time of year is all about. He stayed cool, calm and collected the entire time, was not worried, said the team was businesslike going into Game 6 tonight, guys. He said it best, he also said, like, it's not just about the core four, it's about the team. Even though, guys, we all focus on the core four, he was trying to divert, just not on the core four, but the entire team. It's a team game, obviously, but you got to give the coach a lot of credit. Sticking with this gun, staying with the same exact lineup, even though they did not perform well in Game 5. They played way better tonight, and they gave their coach the benefit by playing well tonight, guys, and showing that him giving them the confidence, they will perform well when it matters most, guys. And look, despite the fact that Ottawa is first time in the playoffs in 7 years, and they give the Leafs some trouble, Senators did a really good job making the Leafs' life difficult. You got to give Brady Tkachuk some credit. He was really good in this series. Sanderson was solid. They got some good players, the Senators. I'm sure they want some goals back that Omar gave up. I'm sure there's some frustrations there for the Senators. But if you're an Ottawa Senators fan, I think you got to be proud of your team, the way they battled in this series. They showed some good signs with this team. They're young. They got some potential. I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs next year, but I think they got some good young talent. They're going in the right direction. And if you're a Senators fan, you should be proud of the way the team played. But the Leafs are just more experienced. They have the better talent. And the Leafs found a way to win tonight. And Ottawa's still very young, and they got a bright future ahead of them. And the Leafs, guys, listen, like I said, they showed the maturity. You found a way to win tonight, but we all know what's coming up next, guys. You got the Florida Panthers in a rematch from a couple years ago. We all remember what the Florida Panthers did to the Maple Leafs, guys. They beat us in 5, spanked us around, and we all know what happened. They went to the Cup final. They didn't win, but then they ended up going to win the year later, obviously, guys. So Florida Panthers are going to be a way bigger test now than the Ottawa Senators. We all know what the Panthers got, guys. We all know they added Brad Marchand. Matthew Tkachuk's back from injury. We got to deal with another Tkachuk. That's going to be a very interesting series, guys. Now, I'm not going to say we're winning that series, but we're going to take it a game at a time and see how it goes, guys. But the Maple Leafs, guys, thank God they didn't go to a Game 7. Thank God they got the job done tonight. Some key performances as well, like I mentioned. William Nylander was solid, like I said. Knies was pretty good. Matthews was good. I really like Scott Laughton's game. Steven Lorentz was not bad either. Fourth line was pretty solid. I like that line of Lorentz, Laughton, and Yarkov. I really like that lineup, guys. Now, the third line, I'm not crazy about, but Domi did a really good job in the assist there. McMahon, this guy's got 17 games without a goal. I'm a little bit concerned about him. He's got to get it going. We're going to need everybody on board for this next series against the Florida Panthers, guys. It's going to be very, very difficult in this series, guys. You're not playing Linus Ullmark in the next round. You're playing Sergei Bobrovsky in net. You're not going to get any cheapies in this one, I think. Right, guys? So, very important win for the Leafs tonight, guys. Avoiding a Game 7, beating Ottawa for the 5th straight time in the playoffs, guys. We just have that team's number, and I love it. Watching Daniel Alfredsson having to shake hands, having to deal with that 4 times as a player, now as a coach. I also love seeing Mark Savard going bananas on the bench. I love the energy, even though Craig Berube told him to pipe it down after Game 1. Even tonight, he was going amp. He was getting all wild and stuff on the bench. It was great to see, guys. I love seeing that passion. I'm glad the Leafs won tonight. Obviously, guys, us Leaf fans, we got to take it a game at a time with the Florida series. We'll see what happens then, guys. But I'm proud of the Maple Leafs for getting this win. Second playoff round win in 21 years, guys. Listen, it's not the best record, obviously, but listen, we'll take it. The players played well tonight. Well, let's see what happens in the next round, guys. Keep an eye out for a preview video, possibly for the Leafs and Panthers. And we'll see what happens in that series, guys. We still don't know when they're going to start yet. We got some other games that are still unfinished in the series. But we'll see what happens, guys. But, guys, that's it for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go, guys. And remember, if you do not watch sports, you're more. Ciao, guys.